I enjoy her work. I respect her as an artist. I don't think she's above critique or criticism, but she's the biggest deal in the world. And anytime she does something, I'll participate in it. Absolutely. Like I listened to the album last Thursday night. I've listened to it multiple times at this point.
Did you stay up to listen to it when it dropped?
I did not stay up to like I'm so tired, but I'm gonna stay away. I was up. And I listened to it until
the first part, or were you up for the?
I was not up for the second part, but by the time I'm not trying to go crazy.
Thank you.
But when I woke up, the second part was there, and I took it all in. And my amateur review would be this: she's really great at doing exactly what she did on this album, which she can write those songs. Like she wrote 31 of them. She could have wrote 331 of them. I don't know that I needed to hear all of them. It sounded to me like somebody said, hey, listen to the last 31 songs Taylor Swift has put out and come up with 31 more that sound a little bit like that. That's what it felt like to me. And it doesn't. And so I know that what the question is, well, what would you get rid of? I don't know. You know, like I could pick this one and this one. And I think this one's going to sound great in a stadium and that one's going to sound great in a stadium. Just because you can write 31 really good songs, I don't know that I need to hear 31 really good songs.
It's quality over quantity, and we were off on Friday, and so I had more time than usual to listen to all 31 of Taylor Swift songs from the Tortured Poet department. And my biggest takeaway, for me, this is my opinion, and again, I'm like you. You always have to qualify. I respect Taylor Swift as an artist. She doesn't get to the place where she is being one of, if not the biggest artist in the world, without having talent, without understanding how the industry works, without writing some bops along the way.
Right.
This album is bop-free. To me, it bored me. I did not enjoy it. There were about 3 songs that I may revisit. I may not.
Right.
And it just felt long. It felt dense. And for somebody who is at the place where she is in her career, I would have loved to have seen some artistic risks, some creative leaps. And instead, it sounded like songs I have heard rephrased with new excerpts from her diary, which I think there's great value in that. The fact that you are so willing and open, and that's why her fans love her, because she gives a true inside glimpse of her life and her feelings and really negative things that she goes through. And so there's this connectivity between her and her fans, which that's where the genius comes in. It's not necessarily in the work itself. It's in the connection with her fan base who are combing through for clues and solving puzzles and riddles and Easter eggs. But because I'm not so attached to the lore of Taylor Swift, I miss that.
I'm talking to noted Swiftie, regular Jacob. And he points out that for people who are, he called you guys casuals, first off.
That's fine. I'll
said, for you casuals,
I'm not even a casual.
It's probably worst album that she's done. But for people who know ball, people who know Taylor Swift, know that it's third best. It's a top 3 album.
Okay. I will say, music critics have rated it lower than any of her previous 3 albums. So of the last 4, it's 4th. According to music critics.
Well, they don't know ball.
I'm sure the non-music critics know more than the music critics. I'm sure that's the way that typically works. No, like the other side of this would be, okay, yeah, you didn't need those 31 songs, but like, do you understand how this industry works? A billion people will stream 31 Taylor Swift songs. And if she made 61, they would stream 61. So you don't need them, but there's a market for it. And buddy, you should see the paychecks that come along with this stuff. So and like she's going to try to chart 20 songs in the top 100. Like, you know, she's setting records and doing things that
you immediately have the music video with Post Malone for Fortnite. It's your first single.
Yeah, but to your point, like I've listened to it multiple times. There are great songs in there. I just can look up at any point and go, all right, is this a new song? Or is this the same one? Like, I don't even know when the songs are changing sometimes. They sound just alike. And she's very good. Like, her real gift is, like, writing about what's right in front of her. She's not reduced to that. She can write about anything. She's a brilliant writer. But her real gift is just writing about things that are right in front of you. Like if I wanted to write a song about you right now, as Taylor Swift, I'd be like, and she had the big pink cup right in front of her, next to the pink brush and the lipstick. Like she just writes it. Like that's the way she writes songs.
And she had a pink top on under the flannel.
Yeah, and God, this is a lot of pink. You know,
she liked pink.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering, you know, there's just all that. Like it's you ate 7 bars of chocolate and then talked about Charlie P. It's just she just writes about what's right in front of her, and she's really good at it. But just because you're really good at doing this thing over and over again, it doesn't mean that I need to hear it over and over again. And to your point about the bops, like you go back to, say, the Lover album.
Yes.
Like or even the most recent album. Midnights. There's like songs on there that you could just, people are going to go back to those songs, obviously. Like Cruel Summer, you knew that the second you heard that. And on this one, there are songs where the choruses are going to be big in stadiums. But Daddy, I Love Him, whatever that one, that'll be big. The chorus in a stadium will be massive. Like I can even like picture people just singing that one and 80,000 people going wild, right?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of that on there. It's 31 songs, and I think I could have done it with 10.
Yeah. You need to bring back editors.
No,
but
sometimes this happens to people who are prolific writers and who aren't lazy. Yeah. Ryan Adams is one of my favorite songwriters before he got real creepy and stuff. He got kind of, you could Google it.
I hate when that happens.
You could Google it if you want to. He was just, he was online chatting in ways. Ryan Adams, don't confuse. It's Ryan, R-Y-A-N. One of my favorite songwriters, right? But he went through this phase where he'd put out like double albums and then like another one 2 months later. And next thing you know, you got like 80 Ryan Adams songs in a span of 9 months. And it's like, okay, just because you can do this
doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should.
Does not always mean you should.
Just because, like
I also understand the economics of it too. Like, listen, one of my favorite. I loved Cowboy Carter. I have been open and honest, and it has stayed.
That's another one. I don't need 27 of that.
I do.
But some of those 27 are interludes.
And they're
like,
interludes, and the way that it connects together, like even from a standpoint
it works
of going
more
from,
as an album.
I'm not going to listen to "Oh Louisiana" by Chuck Berry just for fun, but the way that it segs you out of into the
there's a real purpose.
Everything's purposeful.
There's a real purpose to what's going on there.
Not everything feels purposeful.
No, these
in
are just
the
songs.
31 songs of the Tortured Poets department. Although I will say, I love that for the test of time, we will think of Travis Kelce. No matter how he and Taylor Swift end up, it will be "You Know How to Ball, I Know Aristotle." Has anyone ever been made to look so dumb?
But like that actually makes me wonder, like, is this thing really gonna last?
Okay, finally. Thank you. As I was listening to it,
they don't seem to have much in common outside they both probably like to look at each other.
They're super hot.
Yeah,
They're
both
rich.
hot.
They're super successful.
Yeah.
Where are these deep conversations coming? I mean, honestly, one of the funnest things of this album release were the tweets about Travis Kelce, like, "Hey, babe, saw your new album. Can you explain this to me?" And she's like, "No, don't worry about it." He goes, "Okay, love you." Mwah.
Right.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.